Hey guys, this is Jake with Casual Ecommerce, and in this video we're going to be talking about 5 dropshipping mistakes that you're most likely making. Alright, so before we get into this video, real quick, if you like content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button down below and click the notification bell so that way you don't miss any of the videos that I put up, because I usually put up about 3 videos a week that are going to help you with selling products online. So getting right into the video, the first dropshipping mistake that most people are making is launching with a crappy store. Now, this is one of the biggest problems in all of Shopify e-commerce. A lot of people, they just think that they can throw up this piece of crap store and it can look like complete junk and people will just come and buy from it anyway. Now, I'm not sure where this ideology came from. I'm not sure who's going around telling people that it's fine to set up crappy stores and that they'll actually convert. But if you've followed me for a while now, you've probably heard me rant about this before in previous videos, where your store needs to look high quality, branded, and professional if you want to convert sales. If a buyer lands on your store and it looks crappy, it doesn't look professional, they're not going to trust that you're a legitimate store. They're not going to trust that you're an actual company. Therefore, they're not going to buy from you. And the easiest way to tell if your store looks legitimate or not is to take a look at your store yourself from the customer's perspective and ask yourself, would you buy from the store? And if the answer is no, then you need to go back and do some redesigning and make sure everything looks professional. So getting into the second mistake, we have turning off ads too soon. Now, this is another mistake a lot of people make. When they're running Facebook ads, they'll start off with $5 a day, like a lot of people teach, like I've recommended, but they'll end up cutting the ad off after just 1 or 2 days, so after just $5 or $10. And the issue with this is this doesn't give Facebook nearly enough time to begin to optimize that ad for the audience that you're targeting and for the conversion that you selected. So if you're only running, say, a website clicks ad and you only run it for $5 to $10 worth and you only get a click or 2, it may seem like a campaign like that won't profit, but the thing is, you're going to notice your calls per click, your calls per conversion over time is going to steadily decrease as Facebook continues to optimize your ad. So when testing ads, when testing products and such, you at least need to let ads run for 5 to 7 days if you're testing at $5 a day. Now, you can test it more than $5 a day. If your budget's bigger, you can go $10, $15, $20 a day. I wouldn't recommend going above $20 a day when testing out different products, but if you do have the budget, scaling up to $20 a day can make the testing process faster. But most of the time, you're going to be starting at $5 a day, and if that's the case, you need to let the ad play out for at least 5 to 7 days, and you'll notice that over time the cost per conversion, the cost per click, whatever you're optimizing for, is going to slowly decrease. Now, if the ad is still performing like crap 5 to 7 days later, then you can look at it, evaluate, and decide whether you want to cut it off or not. But if you're cutting off ads before the 5 to 7 day mark, then you're just cutting it off too soon and you're shooting yourself in the foot. So the third problem we're going to talk about is not enough tests. So what do I mean by this? I mean, people aren't testing enough different products. So they'll go in and they'll maybe test 1 or 2 products, and if they don't work, then they just quit. Now, say you're doing print on demand and you're selling t-shirts to like doctors or nurses or something like that. Most people would go in, they'd come up with 1 or 2 designs, and then they would test those out, and if they don't work, they just quit. Now, the thing is, with print on demand and drop shipping from Aliexpress and things like that, you're gonna usually need to test about 10 products before you find a winner. Sometimes you might need to test even more. So when you're doing print on demand or you're doing drop shipping with Aliexpress, most of the time you're gonna have to go through a good amount of products before you find the winner, before you find a profitable campaign that you can scale up. So a lot of the time people just don't test enough products, and therefore they never get the experience of finding a profitable campaign because they quit before they find the product. So make sure you just, if you've selected a niche and there's other stores that are clearly successful within that niche, then it's just a matter of finding the right product and getting your targeting right. So you just need to make sure that you keep experimenting with that and keep testing with that until you find the right formula for your niche and for your store. So the fourth problem we're going to talk about is no email marketing. And with email marketing, this is something that's very overlooked in e-commerce in general. Now, when you're doing email marketing, there's a base set of emails that every store should have, and the most important one being abandoned carts. So if somebody comes to your store and they add a product to cart and then they abandon their checkout, so they add it to cart, but somewhere between adding it to cart and completing the purchase, they just leave the site, they go eat dinner, they go play video games, their phone dies, their computer gets hacked, whatever, something happens and they don't finish their checkout. So just because they abandon their checkout doesn't necessarily mean they don't want a product. They could have just been distracted. So what you need to do is have the follow-up emails in place saying, hey, you left something behind, you need to come back to the store and pick this up. So having abandoned cart emails usually can bring back 5 to 10% of sales depending on how good your follow-up emails are. And an easy way to set these up is with an app called Abandonment Protector, or if you're using an all-in-one service like Klaviyo, they already have abandoned cart templates you can go in there and edit. So you definitely need to have abandoned cart sequences set up. And another thing you need to have set up is upsell sequences. So after somebody purchases a product, you want them to keep buying. So you want to be able to email them 2-3 days after the purchase and maybe sell them another product, give them a coupon code, sell them a related product, and then maybe 7 days later do the same thing. So you want to have an upsell sequence in place as well. And this is something that not a lot of people are doing. I'd say most people that are doing email marketing in e-commerce, all they'll do is they'll do the abandoned cart and that's it. They won't do any upselling, and that's just leaving a lot of money on the table, because when you're upselling people that have already bought from you, the thing is when you're emailing them, you're marketing for free. You're not running an ad to cold traffic anymore. You're sending an email to an email that you already have, therefore it's free to reach out to them. So any person that rebuys and comes back to your store and buys something else, you're essentially just printing free money. So you need to have upsell sequences in place. And then the third type of emails you need to have is just a welcome series, which can have upsells in it, but you also want to introduce them to your store and your brand with welcome series emails. So for example, anytime someone joins your email list, you can send them a welcome email, and you can get them to follow your social media. You can give them coupon codes if you want, but you can just tell your brand story and things like that. So this is something that a lot of people aren't doing. They don't have abandoned cart checkout emails, they don't have upsell emails, and they don't even have welcome emails introducing people to their brand, telling their brand story and things like that. So that's mistake number 4. And the last mistake we're going to be talking about in this video is only using one traffic source. And you probably guessed it, that one traffic source I'm talking about that most people are only using is Facebook. Now, Facebook ads is a great platform. It's great for new people to learn, and it's one of my favorite advertising platforms. There's definitely a lot of money to be made there, and you definitely should be running Facebook ads. However, you should be diversifying beyond just Facebook as your only traffic source. The number one reason for this is because Facebook is probably the most competitive traffic source when it comes to e-commerce right now, because everyone is thinking just like you. They're all thinking, I'm just going to do Facebook and that's it. And that's what everyone's thinking. Therefore, every one of your competitors is also on Facebook. And this doesn't mean you should stray away from Facebook, but it also means that you should try and utilize some other types of traffic. So this could be SEO traffic, ranking your products in Google. This could be Google AdWords, so running Google ads, running ads on YouTube, This could be using Pinterest, this could be Instagram, this could be reaching out to YouTube and Instagram influencers. You need to be utilizing as many different traffic sources as you can, so that way you're diversifying your traffic and you're utilizing these other platforms that have a lot less competition. Because if you're only using Facebook, you're just leaving a lot of money on the table. So guys, that's it for this video. That's 5 common dropshipping mistakes that a lot of people are making that you guys need to stop and need to try and avoid if you want to shortcut your way to making money with e-commerce. So with that being said, if you like content like this, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. And I've been Jake with Casual E-Commerce, and I'll see you guys in another video.